So for the last 3 years, a group of us, 6 couples, we've ridden across various parts of Europe, and this year was to be the Italian trip.
Day 2, we left our hotel. I think we had about 50 kilometres to go.
We just stopped in a beautiful little village. Isn't this wonderful? Great sense of freedom, riding in the middle of the Italian countryside, beautiful weather. My last memory was, how good is this?
I was riding probably 100 metres in front of Jude, apparently. I didn't know she was behind me. And I heard this large, you could only describe it as a bang. As soon as I saw it was Jude, it was, it was a pretty bad feeling, and she was stretched out on the ground. She was unconscious, and there was blood everywhere, and her face was quite badly damaged. She'd obviously hit the road on the side of the face, basically, at some speed, and her mouth was ripped in a few places, a few inches long, as well as, if you like, a road rash right down the left side of her face. We got into hospital, into the emergency area, and one of the doctors came, and once he had the x-rays, clearly worse than he had first thought. It was just a matter of waiting. I think I saw Jude very briefly before she went into the operating theatre.
In the beginning, and when I was going into the op, I did have some time to think, what if I don't ever walk again? How will that change my life?
But being in a foreign hospital, not being able to speak Italian, and not getting much information, it was quite a stressful experience, I can assure you. That's when I thought, yes, we need some help here. The contact I had with CoverMore mainly was through Steve Rashford.
One of the requests I did make was, could I speak personally to the treating surgeon? What I wanted to do was establish what he thought the priorities of management were.
We activated our local partners in Italy, and that's Filo Diretto. They're part of the International Assistance Group. We activated them to obtain a small amount of medical information and also to help us organise that conference call.
It sounds like she injured her facial artery, the mandibular branch of her fifth cranial nerve, masseter, probably epicularis, so muscle around her mouth, and she has no facial fractures. She has a career tooth fracture.
You actually can bleed to death from facial injuries, so that was an important issue for us. How much blood had she lost? Was there an ongoing requirement for blood? What's the safety of blood in the hospital where she was at?
The initial care and the initial operation was fantastic, but the ongoing care was just not getting Jude comfortable at all.
I was really getting, what's the word, quite nervous and uptight.
After about 24 hours, I think Screw realised that this was a really complex operation in terms of trying to get together all the aspects of the care, the logistics, to ensure Jude had a really good outcome.
I talked back to Steve, and that's when he started to organise to get Jude back to London and into a private hospital there.
The air ambulance departed from Nuremberg and flew to Pisa, being the closest airport that they could land in. And they then transferred, I think it was quite a significant ground transfer time to get to the hospital where Jude was.
Great sense of relief when they arrived.
Jude had a paramedic and a doctor on board the aircraft, as well as her daughter for some support there. They transferred her to London Stansted Airport, where she was then met by a ground ambulance and transferred to the London clinic. The air ambulance company provided us with continuous updates throughout the transfer so that we were updated on how Jude's condition was.
Yes, I'm just inquiring whether the patient Judith Turner has arrived in your hospital yet.
She's just arrived. She's been seen by Dr. Lloyd, who is a Max-Fax surgeon.
It was just a different atmosphere, and you could just see the recovery of Jude in the next few days in the London hospital was fantastic. The flight and the repatriation to London couldn't have happened without CoverMore. It's having the expertise, having access to interpreters and to expert advice that allow that to happen. And so, yeah, it's not about saving money or having the money to pay for things. That can be part of it for a lot of people, but it's the least important part. The important part is you get the right treatment, the right evacuation when you need it.
So the best feeling in that Italian hospital was to know that Screw could ring someone and that they would, I don't know, step in, that they know how to handle injuries in foreign countries, I suppose, because you don't think you'll ever even need it.
We will do whatever possible to ensure you get the best care that you deserve when you're at your time of need, and we won't rest until that's done.
It's a sort of peace of mind, isn't that why you have insurance? To sort of give you peace of mind that someone who knows how to deal with these things when you don't will help you.